so since I can't be here today, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity that I didn't have yesterday. Yesterday was definitely a difficult day in our class, I hope we can all assume, but I don't want you guys to fall behind, so I do want to spend the first couple minutes of class just walking you through the notes that you guys took, hopefully, and if you did not have a chance to take those, giving you the opportunity to write those down on your piece of paper now. So hopefully you already have your notes out. If not, hopefully your sub's going to pause it. If not, let's get going. So standard form is going to be where we have our slope and our y-intercept on the same side with our slope and our y-intercept, I apologize guys, on one side and your y-intercept on the other side. It can also be set up that your y-intercept and your y are on the same side and that your slope is on the other side. And we know that for it to be a line that we can graph, a way that we can plot it on a point or figure out what our slope actually is, we need to get it into y equals mx, or our slope, plus b, our y-intercept. So let's do a couple practice problems. So I'm going to call these practice problems. Okay? So our first practice problem was 3x plus y equals 10. Okay? Now the first thing that I would have told you guys to do was that I normally will write this equation up above it and put a green line down the middle so that I know what the difference is. So I'm going to do that now. So we got y equals mx plus b. Okay? I'm going to put my line down my equal sign so that I know that I need to have part of my equation on the left side of my equation on this side of my green line and the right side of my equation on this side of my green line. So I'm going to have 3x plus y equals 10. And notice that I'm putting my 10 right under my y-intercept because that's what that is. It doesn't have an x attached to it, so it is our y-intercept. Now, hopefully we've noticed a couple of things. If not, let's walk through it. So one thing that I noticed is that I'm missing this value in the middle. I'm missing my mx. So I'm missing my slope. I don't have it in there. But if I look on this side, I have something that's extra. So look over here, I got a y equals, and in this one I have 3x plus y equals. So I have an extra, something extra on this side of my equation. So I want to take this value and I want to move it to the other side. I want to replace and have an actual value in right here when I get done. So the way that we get rid of this is by doing the opposite. So right now I have a positive 3x. Remember that x is attached to that 3, it can't go anywhere, it's like buddies. Or like that annoying sibling that won't go away. So to get rid of it, we have to get rid of both. So I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to take away 3x from that side, and I'm going to take away 3x from this side. Because remember, whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. Okay? These are going to cancel out. 3x minus 3x is just 0. And I get y, which is looking good, equals negative 3x plus 10. Now, this is set up in the same format as this, which is what I want. I can figure out what my slope is. I know that it's negative, so I have a negative slope. And I also know that my y-intercept is 10. Okay? If you need me to copy this down, hopefully your sub will pause it. While I do that, I'm going to erase this one for you, and I'm going to work through the second problem that we did that's a little bit more difficult, which is going to be more of what you guys are doing today in class. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all ready to do your second practice problem. Our next practice problem was 15x plus 3y equals 18. Okay, so that's our starting equation. Now if we look at it, does the setup of this equation look like my starting equation? No, it's different. I got a number in front of my y, it's my slope and my x and stuff is on this side. I'm going to rewrite it so that I have my equation, y equals mx plus b, so that I can notice what it should look like. This is what eventually it should look like. I should have one y, a slope, and a y-intercept on the other side. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to draw my green line down the middle so that I can make sure that I put things on the correct side so that I know that it looks like. So I had 15x plus 3y equals 18. Notice again that I'm making sure that my 18 goes under my b value. Next, that's my y-intercept. It doesn't have an x attached to it. Okay? Now, hopefully again we've noticed that I'm missing something and I have something extra. I am missing my slope from this side, and I have an extra value on this side. So I'm going to do the same thing that we did in the previous practice problem on this practice problem. So we wanted to get this value, this 15x, onto the other side. So what did we do? We subtracted. Okay? So we subtracted 15x from both sides. Okay? That's going to make this guy go to 0. I'm going to have 3y equals negative 15x. Now, this is a positive 18. So when we have a positive 18, that's like adding 18. Okay? Now, does this equation look exactly like this equation? It's a little bit different, right? We've got a 3 in front of this one. So we want to get rid of that 3. We want this number that we imagine. Remember, we imagine that there's a 1 in front of every value that doesn't have any variable that doesn't have a number. We imagine there's a 1. I want this to become 1. So how would I do that? What am I doing to right here to that y? I am multiplying. There's a little imaginary multiplication symbol, because remember, mathematicians are lazy. There's a little multiplication symbol right there. Okay? So we are going to do the opposite. So we are going to divide both sides and everything on both sides, that's the important part, by 3. Okay? So I'm going to divide this negative 15 by 3. And I'm going to divide this 18 by 3. Okay? Now the important part about this is that this becomes a massive 1, which is what we want. We want those two cancel out and to become a 1. So we get y equals, now, negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. That x, their partners, can't go anywhere without the other one. It's like Batman and Robin, they go everywhere. Okay, annoying sibling always follows you. That's what it's doing. That x comes along, and 18 divided by 3 is just 6. Now this equation looks exactly like this equation. Okay? This is what you guys are going to be doing on your practice problems today. I hope that you've written this down. If you don't have these notes, I have a copy of them for you in case you didn't have the opportunity to write them down. There is a link in Google Classroom in case you would like to watch this again. Okay? You guys have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.